Poultry plant workers at Wayne Farms walked off the job last week after they were given a new contract offer that they did not feel was up to snuff, and then they voted the contract down, which is very cool. We love to see workers recognize their worth and stand up for themselves. I have reached out to the union representing workers there, UFCW Local 1995. I've scheduled a chat with them next week to learn more about negotiations and how we can help. Maybe get put in touch with some workers. In the meantime, I'll be relying on the reporting of others. Now, in the main, I am as big a critic of media as any other host on this station, and folks at AL.com did not disappoint. In an article about the workers walking out and the workers voting down a contract offer, who does William Thornton, the business reporter, gross, for AL.com, go to? The literal company PR person. And nobody else. They didn't. It doesn't even look like he requested a comment from the workers or the union representing these workers. The only person that he talked to for this article was the company PR person. I mean, like, what? But that's a business reporter for you. WHNT, however, did a great job. Kate Newsom actually talked to the workers. Crazy. Crazy. And while she did talk to the company spokesperson, it's understandable, even helpful to know what the company is saying as a consumer of information. You know, you want to see what the other side is saying. And the important thing to do when you do things like that is to contextualize what the company is saying with testimony from the workers, with facts on the ground. And Kate Newsom seems to have done that. So I appreciate her work. It was really good. You should check out her article on WHNT about the walkout and the contract rejection. The main issue from her reporting seems to be wages, with the new contract only offering $1 to $3 an hour raises. Working conditions were also mentioned. And the company said that they can't afford to pay more. Now, Wayne Farms is not a publicly traded company, unfortunately. So normally, a lot of times you would be able to, to look at the company financial information from like quarterly investor reports and calls and things like that. But this is not a publicly traded company, so you can't do that. They were acquired in 2015, though, so we do have some information from 2015. And in 2015, the CEO was making $12 million a year. Their revenue was very high. They were doing really good. They were doing really good. And unless Wayne Farms has been under, since 2015, terrible management, I mean, absolutely like just horrid management, they're doing better than they were in 2015, right? The wholesale price of chicken has actually nearly doubled recently. Executive pay has, of course, continued to increase since 2015. So unless Wayne Farms is a total anomaly, then they're doing quite well. And if they can't afford to pay more, if that's true, they shouldn't have any problem explaining to the public how much they bring in, how much their expenditures are, what profits they make, how much their executives make, and then how much their workers make, and justify all that. But they're not coming out with that. They're just saying, and they hope that we take their word for it, that they can't afford to pay more. So, I would say take that with a grain of salt unless they back it up, because the workers are putting the information forward. They are explaining how much they're making, how much the raise is, and saying we do not feel like that is sufficient. And that's always the way these things goes, right? The workers, the unions are incredibly transparent. Oftentimes, the contracts are public information, while the company does everything that it can to impede information requests, keep information from the public, or misrepresent information to the public. So, take that for what it is. We'll be giving y'all an update here in the next couple of weeks after I've been able to talk to the union about that. But that's a very interesting story happening right in our backyard in Albertville. I used to be in Albertville all the time. So I'm interested in seeing how that works out. 1,000 coal miners in Brookwood, Alabama are still on strike. They've been on strike since April 1st, making the strike more than 8 months long. Fortunately, the community has been supportive. Local grocery stores are allowing the auxiliaries to buy groceries wholesale to stock the strike pantry, and donations supplied every single Christmas gift that was requested from striking families for their children. So that's beautiful displays of solidarity there. But of course, this is hard on the families. So support them if you can. Donate to the strike fund or the strike pantry fund. They could use it. They could definitely use it. I've been in touch with Lee Baines about potentially going down there and recording and live streaming a performance that he's going to give of Christmas songs to the auxiliary for their Christmas event on Sunday, December 18th or 19th. The Sunday of that weekend. He's going to be down there performing some Christmas songs at their Christmas event. It's going to be very cool, and you'll be able to donate in the description of the YouTube video if we actually are able to get down there and live stream it. I've talked to Hayden, and Hayden is the auxiliary president. She says that she would like us to come, and she's talked to other folks in the union, and that that they'd like us to be down there, and of course love to see Lee. He is going to be playing at the Nick in Birmingham the Saturday before that, so you should go down there and see him if you can. But what they really need, frankly, at this point, is for political leaders, elected and in the pundit class, to stand up for them against the New York investment firm-owned Warrior Met. But you don't see that very often because politicians and media folks love the boss, and they only love coal bosses, not coal miners. So we're gonna be keeping on top of that as well. It's amazing how much Warrior Met is willing to sacrifice to try to break this union. They are $400 million lower in revenue than they were 2 years ago, and that's with steel prices double what it used to be? They mine metallurgical coal, which is used in the production of steel. Steel prices are much higher than they used to be, and their revenue is $400 million below what it was 2 years ago. Their revenue was $44 million in the last year, and 2 years ago, it was like $450 million or something like that. And so the reason that they're able to do that, of course, is because they're owned by these trillion-dollar investment firms. So they really need support from the public, from politicians, political leaders, and people in the media, because they're not being treated right, and the game is rigged against them, unfortunately. Additionally, 2 days ago, a Tuscaloosa County judge again extended an unconstitutional ban on the striking coal miners' right to peaceably assemble and picket Warrior Met coal. I'm not talking about like before, where the judge said, okay, only 6 or 10 or 11 of y'all can picket at one time. No, the judge has completely banned picketing. Of course, free speech warriors have been extremely quiet about the rights of the 1,000 Alabama coal miners. They have more important things to talk about, like making fun of Fauci and defending Chris Cuomo for trying to help his brother get away with being a sex pest. That was a surprising one to me.
Work sucks, we know, but you can make it better by organizing with your fellow workers. For more information, call or text the Huntsville Industrial Workers of the World at 256-651-6707.